Howdy folks, we're going to start off today, this episode, and we're going to take a look at our Schumann resonance. We're going to kind of break some things down a little bit for you, do a little update and reading. As we're looking here, we're looking at Disclosure News, and we're looking at the Russian model. This is the Russians' model for their Schumann resonance. And you see these little spikes here, these little spikes and peaks. A lot of this is very indicative of lightning strikes. Okay, I've shown in some of my previous videos on the Italian model how, we'd seen over the map of where their base was, where they actually had this set up, and there were lightning strikes all around the area, and you could see that it was spiking. So this right here is our Russian model. So if you kind of, sorry about that. So if we actually look through it, we can actually see the regular Schumann. So the regular Schumann looks to be about at a normal, it would be like down here. So basically around a 7, which is really where we want to see it anyways. So these are lightning strikes for our Russian model. Now let's take a peek at our Italian model here. And as we come over here, okay, kind of do a little gander down here, we're looking at our very low frequency, or our electromagnetic field, and we can see that there is a little bit of activity here along the ground. This almost like the Earth is kind of waking up, and we do see connections between the ionosphere and the ground with the spikes here. Now, if we come on to all the way, let's just scroll to the bottom really quick, and we'll take a look and see about lightning strikes. Now we can tell here that there are no lightning strikes in the area because the Schumann resonance is actually right around this area right here, right close to the border between Italy and France. So we know that it's not lightning strikes. But the other thing is that I'm not very versed on the colors here, on why we see all these different colors. It kind of goes into an explanation of it, but it doesn't really give an exact rhyme or reason. But I have noticed, thinking of my friend Teresa in Texas, how you doing, sweetie? She actually lets me know about the different colors, that sometimes you'll see like a lot of red, and then another day you'll see a lot of blue, and it is something to take note of, because frequencies have color. All frequency and hertz, they all have colors, they all have meaning. Like look at this right here, we had a whole lot of red for whatever reason that we did, and then we've got a nice blast of this greenish blue. We have blue here, so it's something to take note of. All right, folks. Now we're going to come on over here. We're going to look at moongiant.com. Phase today. This is where I'm at, so we can actually see where our phase is. We are looking at a waxing gibbous illumination at 98%. Tomorrow is our full moon. Ain't that something? Now, if we come down here, it actually gives us a day, and information about it. The moon's current phase of today and tonight is a waxing gibbous phase. The phase is when the moon is more than 50% illuminated, but not yet a full moon. The phase lasts about 7 days, with the moon becoming more illuminated each day until the full moon. Kind of gives us a little bit about it. The word gibbous first appeared in the 14th century, and it has its roots Latin word gibbiosus, meaning humpbacked. Well, ain't that something? Wonder if that ties into the humpback of Notre Dame. Very interesting. It tells you, and it also tells you all kinds of interesting information. The 8 lunar phases. Now, one of the things I really do like about this, and I encourage everybody to come and take a look. You can actually come over here. See, were you born on a full moon? You can actually put in your information and, of when you were born, and it'll actually tell you what kind of a moon you were born on. It's actually kind of a neat little thing. Now for the fun stuff. We're going to come over here to Solar System Scope, and we are going to take a peek of what we got going on here. Let's see where we're at. Now, Planetary Alignment, the Earth is, as we look directly lined up with the Sun, we are literally right smack in the V, I almost said something inappropriate, the V of Pisces. Right smack in the middle of it. All right. Now, if we happen to turn this baby around the other way and see what's behind us, let's take a peek. There's the Earth. Kind of look right behind us, and behind us we have Virgo. So we are lined up with Pisces and Virgo, right smack in the middle. That's interesting. Virgo, V. That's very interesting. This Virgo is a virgin, almost like the Earth is being birthed to a new life, birthed to new energies, new vibrations, new dimensions. Very interesting. I like making those little connections. Now, if we look off to the side here, we're actually going to see that the Earth and Venus and Mars just came out of an alignment. But if we look here, we might be lining up with Jupiter getting into the head of Pisces. And let's go ahead and take a little... Wait, that's the wrong way. If we do this here, we can actually play it. And it will move around. Oh, that is way too slow. Sorry, brother. You got to speed it up. Yeah, we're going to have an alignment coming up here pretty soon. Stop. And oh yeah, right around April 29th, we will be lining up directly with Jupiter on the other side, right into the head of Pisces, of one of the fish. So that's something that's going to be pretty interesting, I think. Now let's go back to actual time. Alright, now the other thing we have, we actually missed the lineup of Ceres, one of our other planets, and Venus. Now let's see what's above us, shall we? That's always the fun stuff. Let's check up above us. Directly above us, we are still in Draco. This is as far as it goes. We're still in the star constellation of Draco, the dragon. Really? Draco, the dragon? Draconian lizards. And also looks like Carina and Volans. We're right in between them, which is a very interesting ordeal. But this isn't the only thing I'm going to take a look at, folks. Have you guys ever been looking up at the sky to see what's going on? If not, you should. And here's why. I'm going to take a little jump over here to YouTube and look at Nick Thomas TV. I do follow him, and I do watch his content. Some things I do like, some I don't. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. Sometimes people have things to say that you don't agree with, but that's all right. And sometimes it's disinformation, and sometimes you got to just, hey man, I don't feel that way. I think it's this and this, and sometimes they're just dead wrong. But that's also from their opinion, because some people don't have as much knowledge as I do, and I don't have as much knowledge as other people. I mean, we all have our areas where we have more knowledge and more exposure and more things to share than others. So I understand sometimes the pride. There's a big difference in egos. But let's take a look at this. This is why everybody should be looking up.
What the fuck is this?
Pardon the language, folks.
Oh, this is fucking data. What the fuck? If I was high?
I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Nope. You may not be able to.
What the fuck is this?
Look at this. Flying over in Arizona. Isn't that cool? That's a reason to look up. I mean, I'd be like, what the mess? That's pretty cool stuff. Now that's in Arizona. No, that's not the other one. That's not the one I wanted to look at. Let's go back here.
What the fuck is this?
Oh, all right. I'm tired of listening to your language there, lady.
This fireball created by a meteor lights.
Oh, come on.
What?
Imagine, if you will. Now, this is in Florida. This is one of Nick's videos. It says, what's in the sky here in Florida? Watch this. Imagine seeing this. You're like, oh my gosh, look at that. It's a meteor, right? Wrong. You ever see a meteor break off like that? Maybe. But have you ever seen him stop in a position? Look at that. That was like a star constellation. Who's ever seen this happen? Look at this. Now watch. It ain't done yet. Then they start moving again. It's like they hit their spot and like, okay, now let's kind of meander and snake our way down. That's pretty cool, folks. I've got several pictures of these, not only in our atmosphere, but in satellite as well. And I'm actually going to be sharing some of those images with you here right now. And here we can clearly see a Borg cube right here, and then bending the light. Now, they're not really showing it over here, but you can clearly see it here. In fact, let's do, we'll do this. If it'll actually let me. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Here's another Borg cube. Here's another Borg cube. I've got several of these screenshots from LASCO C2, LASCO C3. So this is a totally different shot. You can see it's moved over there. I've got LASCO C2, LASCO C3 on SDO satellites. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, this one's beautiful, brilliant. Look at how it bends. You can see all the different little cubes. You can see it's like broken up here, and then inside they're also broken up into little cubes as well. That's, and if anybody's familiar with Star Trek, in fact, just go on Google and put in Star Trek cube, and then go to images, and look, you'll see all these little intricate designs in the piping and stuff, just like that. Folks, they're out there. They're out there for us to see. Even though we're not supposed to be seeing them, we can still see them. I mean, look at this. You got this nice darker area here, and then it's light here. They're bending light. This technology's been around for a very long time. We can actually do it now. I mean, if you want to go into YouTube, put in your search engine, how to make or how to bend light. you know, or how to make a light bending shield. I mean, you can actually go and buy the stuff to make your own and put up for like a hunting blind. So if we can do that from going just getting most of the stuff from the store, there's no reason why to think that they can't do it out in space. I mean, ancient beings that are thousands, hundreds of thousands of years old, oh, they're way farther than we are. Here's another one. And sometimes you'll see them in different forms. It could be a bunch of them or just one that's firing up his light bending technology, but just didn't get a chance to, you know, but when the caption was taken, it was right as it was firing up. We do get those quite a bit. And a lot of times when you have your board cubes, you'll actually see the light bending around it. You'll see the line that they, just like this. You'll see it just like this. So whenever you see the little mark go like this, and sometimes you don't see the cube itself, just know it's on the underside in that crook right here. See, like here you can see this, but then you can't really see the one going out the top. Well, just if he's missing, but you see it going like this, just know that he's right there. I mean, sometimes you're not going to get it perfect. Now, we want to see some friends. Let's see some friends. Ooh, look at that one. That's pretty cool, ain't it? Now, a lot of my ones for our friends, also I use on stereo ahead, stereo behind. We can clearly see this is being stereo ahead on February 28th. And we can clearly see that there is a large light-bodied something, and it looks like he's going this way, only because, I mean, who knows? He could be going this way. This could be like the tip of it. It's hard to say on a description, but this right here, this is our, well, if you will, a space station, really. And we can clearly see the reflection here. And if you look, you can see the sun having a little flare here and kind of pushing off. But if you look, it's not hitting him. It goes around him. That means that there's something there. There's a body there, which I know to be a space station that is locked to the sun in this position. Now, this is from stereo head. Remember, stereo head is here looking at the sun, okay? And Earth is over here, and stereo behind is over here. So by seeing this here, we can tell that it's on the back side of the sun, and we can clearly see it splitting. I mean, look at how dark it is directly behind it, because the magnetism, the magnetic shields or fields that's around the space station is pushing the plasma around it, so it doesn't even affect it, which is quite impressive. And here we can clearly see battle formations right here on UFOs here. And I've got several of these I've done in some of my other videos. You can see another one here. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you. There we go. And all different, I mean, coming from all different areas of space. They're everywhere. I mean, here's another battle formation here. It's very interesting. Here's a good one. Here's one just traversing the sun, just like, see you later, buddy. Got lots of those. Now, sometimes I don't have the angstrom of light that I'm looking through with the timestamp, because, you know, they're up in the corner and I'm trying to zoom in. I try to clarify what's already there. But anybody that's been following me long enough is going to know, hey, this is Venus, by the way, but this guy isn't. I mean, look at that. You got a head, wings, and his tail, and his little his little trail coming off behind him. All over in space. There's another battle formation. This looks like a freaking war. I mean, look at them. They're all over. You can't say that it's space dust because there's multiples of them, and they're all going in one direction. Well, that's not something that's normal. And the designs of them are very interesting as well. I've got a couple of ones that are really up close, and I've shown them many times and actually cleared up the picture. This is one of them. You can kind of see how it's like a wing, like a giant wing, or a crescent moon. And it looks like here they're going from here and like transitioning from one direction and going down, or it could be that they're coming up and transitioning into a different direction. I mean, look at all of these. Pretty cool, ain't it? So remember, folks, keep your eyes open. No fear. Love is the only way forward. Have a good one.